idea who that guy was. I didn't.
What the fuck did you think it was? He's wearing a tie and he's got a fucking clipboard.
I was asleep. I'm not a fucking mind reader. Why didn't you tell me they were coming?
Why didn't I tell you?
Yes, maybe if I'd known DCFS was dropping
Jesus Christ,
by.
do you have any idea how much you fucked this up for me?
This is not my fault. I did not invite DCFS here. I did not leave a furnace in the house, or kids in a pack and play, or an open hole in the fucking floor.
No, but you sure as shit didn't help Fiona. The old Fiona would have handled this, would have spun shit, would have covered for me.
What was I supposed to do, huh? Bake him a fucking cake?
No, I expected you not be drunk in the middle of the day. How about that, huh?
Maybe I'm tired of playing Susie fucking Sunshine all the time, huh? Think of that? As if I want to be drunk in the middle of the fucking day. That is my fucking business.
So many motorcycles in here. You know, I get tired of looking at them.
Do you mind?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go. Oh, fuck. Sorry, it's so rude. Yeah. Go get yourself a cup.
I taught myself to ride a bike, by the way. Can you pedal? It's hot lip, too. He doesn't remember by now. I taught him. He was on a bike. I taught Debbie and Carl
But I'm trying to foster Zan. I mean, is it so crazy that I'd want to make someone's life any better?
Okay, I'm pregnant.
I realized it this morning in the shower. I'm late. So I left your house, I had a test, and I saw the biggest, bluest plus sign I've ever seen. And so I went back to CVS, got another test. Positive.
You sure it's mine?
Yeah, I'm sure it's yours. I make Boone wear a condom. It's been in the Philippines. I double bag that shit.
What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
Jason from the shop. I'm his sponsor. You just got my sponsee fucking drunk.
He didn't say he was your...
100 days! He was sober!
And that's sad. I'm sorry for him. But it's not my fault. I didn't know.
No, nothing's your fault anymore, huh?
You weren't there. You don't know.
I know someone waved vodka in his face. I know when he left you, he called his dealer and he shot up heroin.
I'm sorry. I didn't know.
No, you didn't care enough to know. Listen to me. I want you out of this fucking house.
much media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Tune in
Too Much
to
Media.
Too Much
Have fun.
Media. Too much media.
Now, isn't this a shame? Look how you get thanked for years of putting yourself last, taking care of your family, and making sure that everyone else has their way in life while neglecting your own life. And after years of putting yourself last, you're so traumatized, you're so beat, you're so done with everything that's happened to you that you finally take some time to put yourself first. Now, how you cope because of all these years of traumatic event after event is obviously not the healthiest way. And in these scenes, we see Fiona, who is the head of the family, become an alcoholic due to all the years of trauma and just being over it. Like, she reached a breaking point where she just couldn't take it anymore. And mind you, this is the same family where most everyone in her family has had a bout of some sort of like chaotic and manic state one way or another. One of her little brothers, Carl's, is like a maniac and is constantly doing violent crimes. Her other brother is bipolar and goes in and out of depression and manic states. Lip, the man who's yelling at her constantly in those scenes, had his own bout of alcoholism previously, in which no one ever held him responsible or did anything such as yell at him and threaten to kick him out of the house, which is insane for him to do. And I'm just like watching these scenes of the buildup of him getting to the point where he decides that he has some sort of authority to try to kick Fiona out of the house. And I'm like, do you see how like the person you do the most for and you help the most is like the first person to kind of like kick you to the curb when it's your turn to need their same level of support? Because it's funny that every single point he made in both scenes of like reasons that are proof that she never took accountability are actually the exact reasons that are proof that he didn't take accountability. I want to read this comment that someone left. Why the hell did you let the DCFS in here? Why wasn't he at home in time to attend his DCFS tour? Why didn't he let Fiona know there was a DCFS worker coming? Do you have any idea how much you fucked this up for me? Why is that on Fiona? Why is Lip looking for more problems when he can't even attend a DCFS worker? The old Fiona would have handled this, would have spun shit, would have covered for me. Why should she do shit for Lip? It's not Fiona's business to receive or help Lip with his affairs. You looked for problems, you fixed them. I know someone waved vodka in his face. No, the fuck she didn't. LMAO. Jason himself told him that it wasn't her intention to make him relapse again. She was looking for Lip, not Jason. You didn't care enough to know. Like, he's the one talking about caring. It's not like he judged and trashed Fiona for being drunk the same way he was drunk in university. The difference is Fiona helped him while he pushed her under the bridge. Lip has become so complacent, so dependent, and tries to make Fiona look like a half-wit, even though she's the only one who actually achieved greater things than him. Lip has no place to talk because he's constantly looking for problems and loves to judge Fiona. Which is true. Throughout the show, every chance Lip gets where he gets proof that Fiona's made a mistake instead of quickly gotten them out of a situation, he literally salivates at the opportunity to tell Fiona she's done something wrong or look how ain't shit she is and stuff like that. But every single time she saves their ass. Literally, their entire existence is because Fiona dropped out of school and decided to raise them like they're her own children. They're literally just her siblings. She dropped out of school, raised them as her own, and did everything for them to become anything in life, not even necessarily successful, because she doesn't even hold that pressure over them, but just anything, just do anything. All of them still live at the house. All of them still rely on her constantly. All of them still constantly throw problems in her face that she constantly has to find solutions for. They never make her life easier. In every opportunity they get, they're always doing dumb shit that Fiona has to save them from. And it's like, whenever Flip gets the tiniest whiff that Fiona's made a mistake instead of save someone, he literally loves it. He always does stuff like this to her, where he's like, and how could you do this? And it's your fault that Carl had this happen. And Debbie says that, and as if she isn't just his older sister who's done everything she can to literally save their lives, more as though she's like his neglectful mother who literally has been off on the run doing drugs and God knows what instead of taking care of her children. And it's crazy because he's like blaming her for the DCFS worker finding out that he was being neglectful. And she's like, it's not my fault that there's literally a hole in the floor. I didn't put the hole in the floor. I didn't leave a bunch of kids in a playpen unsupervised. I didn't do this. Like, he left the house in a complete ruin and then wanted her to like open the door mid-sleep and then suddenly just get rid of every problem in the house, when he himself, with all the forewarning of knowing that DCFS is coming, still didn't even take care of those like very obvious huge problems that any DCFS worker would flag a household on. It's like, these are huge problems. A hole in the fucking floor, like kids everywhere, problems arising left, right, and center, and you left that in complete chaos. But instead of like taking accountability of looking yourself in the face and being like, okay, like it didn't make sense for me to leave the house in such ruin, and then expect her to be able to open the door mid-sleep and then suddenly what? Fill a hole? Like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, do you see how? And the funny part is about watching Lip take this level of no accountability is the fact that, like, if we look at like paper wise or like, you know, test wise, like education wise, he's supposedly the smartest in the family. Like, he easily passes all his STEM classes. He easily gets straight A's in school. Like, he was supposed to be the most likely of them to succeed and be able to, he got into a prestigious university at a prestigious program with a prestigious professor, which would have like fast tracked him to a great job and to a great opportunity to make a high income and potentially save his family from poverty. What did Lip do with that opportunity that was clearly designated for him as being the so-called smartest one in the family? He completely bullshitted the whole time. He becomes an alcoholic drunk for no reason too. Like, he literally just decides off of like no reasons. Like, basically he's let some girl get to his head about like some stupid stuff, and he's just like on some like, I'm just gonna be a drunk asshole all the time, just because he's mad that like he's mad that he has an opportunity to be successful. Yes, I don't know what type of self-sabotage was going on at that time, but he literally ruined the family's one opportunity to get themselves out of financial ruin by literally just sabotaging his entire college career for no reason. And like, when I'm saying sabotage, I mean like to the nth degree, where there's like no possible way for him to ever be in school again or like have an opportunity like he had again. And it's like, okay, so you're supposedly this super smart genius who's able to like pass all these classes with like little to no effort and know all of these things, but yet you don't understand how it could possibly be your fault that you left a house in complete chaos and the child that you're supposedly trying to foster / adopt by themselves in a house full of chaos right before DCFS is supposed to come. Huh? How you don't see how that could possibly be your fault instead of Fiona's? Like, there's no part of you that can possibly put that line together instead of the one where, oh, the old Fiona would have been done that. She would have put everything together. She would have never allowed this. She would have never like this. The old Fiona was taking care of children. You were in high school. You were 13, 14, 15. She had no choice but to be the only responsible one as the 17, 18-year-old. Mind you, she was technically a child as well. You're now a grown fucking man. How are you as a grown man blaming a woman for being responsible for you not taking care of something you decided you want to do? She is not the one who decided she wants to foster some random child. You went and picked up this random little girl and decided you want to be Mr. Save a little girl, and then did everything but save her. The one thing you had to do, which was be present when the DCSF worker came. You literally are nowhere to be found. You're like blaming Fiona. It would have been one thing if you were there trying to fix things up and then she was actively sabotaging you. But literally you didn't even show up at all. You were literally not there. And you're grown. You're grown. You're not a child. It's not her responsibility to constantly be looking after, oh, what's Flip up to? Let me make sure that all his ducks are in a row and I can save the day at any drop of a hat. And mind you, in this moment where Fiona runs to alcoholism, when I'm telling you I would have been an alcoholic since season 1, I don't know how it took her this long. She has been sober, and when I mean sober in like every sense of the term, not completely, because like she had her moments where she would go out from time to time, but it was so rare because she usually always had to find jobs and work and money somehow, some way to support all of these hood rat kids that she rarely ever had time for herself, that she was always sober. After everything that would happen, her alcoholic father and drug addict father constantly ruining everything that she tried to do to have a step up in life. The kids that she's taking care of constantly causing problems and chaos around the house, breaking things, making all sorts of things that she has to fix left, right, and center. Her little brother becoming bipolar and having constant manic attacks and clinical depression. Her other little brother refusing to do the one thing that could slightly help her by being actually successful, going out and getting a real degree and a good job and being able to move on with his life as one less thing that she had to be responsible for. Instead becomes an alcoholic and runs back to the house, which she never ever made him feel bad about. She literally always still try to help him, always still try to give him the benefit of the doubt, always still try to, not let him feel bad about himself, to dig himself into a deeper hole. She always tried to encourage them to just, move on and shake shit off. Like, she never ever shits on them. And for the one time that she's in such a bad state where she finally thought she could get her life together, because at this moment it's like Fiona had kind of made stuff shake for her own life, where she had kind of gotten things together, gotten some investments together, gotten a good job, gotten some money together, and some guy had come and ruined her entire life. I don't remember the specifics or something, but it was bad. It was really, really bad, and it wasn't her fault. And after that, she completely crumbles and falls into alcoholism. Now, she's drinking all the time or whatever, but it's not like she's making that anybody else's problem. She's just around sad. She's not even ever saying, oh, I need you guys to do this for me. Oh my God, I ruined this. Oh my God, da, da, da. Whereas with the rest of them, every single time they get into a situation, they come running to Fiona and she has to fix the problem. Although she has a 10,001 problems and she is being an alcoholic at this point, she's not making it anyone's problem. She's just sitting around being drunk and sleeping and just kind of trying to figure out a way out of her state of sadness, but she's not sitting around constantly dwelling on it and telling everybody about her problems, right? She goes to Lib's job to go talk to him about something, meets this random guy. He literally is the one who asked for the alcohol. Are you supposed to, every time you're drinking now, ask everyone who's around you, are you an alcoholic? Most people who are alcoholics don't even consider themselves alcoholics. They literally find every situation to drink, and they never consider themselves alcoholic. There's a lot of functioning alcoholics out here. If you work in any sort of service industry, you know that most people who work in service industries are functioning alcoholics. They're not seeking sober a lifestyle. They're not seeking help. They're not seeking rehabilitation. So it's are you supposed to sit around and be like, no, you can't. I feel like this can lead to alcoholism, when you're literally in the midst of your own battles of alcoholism. That doesn't even make any sense. So this guy asks for the alcohol. She never even offers. And then mind you, once he does ask, she gives it to him in the nicest way possible. She said, oh yeah, here, of course, get yourself a cup. And she gives him every last bit of alcohol she had left. She did it in the kindest way possible, literally thinking that it was a good gesture. And then instead of being like, you know, something where she just did a good gesture and could move on with her life, now Lip is making this. Honestly, I'm gonna call him Flip because that's how he is. He's two-faced. Like Flip over here talking about flipping out, talking about some, oh, it's your fault he went to heroin. How does vodka turn into heroin? Like, she did not put no needle in this nigga's hand. Like, this nigga went and found heroin himself. Like, all she did was give him, like, literally, what, like, based off the leftovers, the bottle wasn't even that big. It was, like, probably 2 shots worth of alcohol in what she gave him in that cup. So 2 shots of alcohol, and now he's shooting up heroin. That she was supposed to know that. She was supposed to stop him from that. That's an insane, like, level of responsibility to put over someone and blame someone on. Like, how is that on her that he, for one, hid his alcoholism from her? Because I'm sure if he sat there and before, as soon as she started drinking, like, if you're an alcoholic and you know you can't control yourself around alcohol, the minute someone walks in with alcohol, shouldn't you have immediately said, hey, I'm an alcoholic. I would really, really appreciate it if you put that alcohol away, or if you just plain old leave. I don't know who you're looking for, but Lip is not here. He's not going to be back anytime soon, and it's really, like, dangerous for my sobriety if you're around me with alcohol. Shouldn't you have said that immediately before you even get an opportunity to be tempted? But instead, he watches her drink, acts like nothing's wrong with it, and then offers himself a drink without literally ever mentioning throughout that whole scenario that he was an alcoholic. If it was that easy for him to turn over, I promise you it wasn't her that made him turn. Like, he was gonna find alcohol one way or another. He was just kind of looking for an excuse. Like, he was waiting for an opportunity to say that, like, it was in front of him, and so he's just gonna do it. So it's just like, if it wasn't Fiona, it was gonna be one thing or another that caused him to break and go back to alcohol. So after that, when Lip is yelling at her and he's like, you didn't care to know. It's interesting that is the level, that is the type of accountability he wants to throw on her, of like, it's not that you didn't know he was an alcoholic when you offered him alcohol. It's that you didn't care to know, which is like, okay, well, in that same sentiment, isn't that exactly what you're doing to Fiona? It's like, oh, she's sitting here being an alcoholic and drinking all day, sleeping through the day, messing up DCFS tours, giving alcohol to people who are gonna end up shooting up because of it. And you're saying it's not that she didn't know, it's that she didn't care to know. But you yourself, it's not that you don't understand that Fiona's going through a hard time, which is why she's being this negligent, is that you don't care to know what she's going through, of how hard it is to take care of a family full of ungrateful, bratty ass kids. You don't care to know. It's like everything he wants to say to her, everything he wants to judge her about, everything he wants to put on her back instead of taking accountability for, is the same sentiment you could, like, if was repeated back to him, still stands. It's like every single thing he says stands on his level as well. It's like he's completely projecting. Like, this is literally everything he's saying is like, I think what inwardly he wants to say to himself. Like, and to even emphasize just how negligent Lip is, despite not drinking, he then, right after losing custody of the foster child that he decided to go and try to find out a way to get custody for, finds out from a woman that he's sleeping with that she's pregnant. And what's the first thing he says to her? Are you sure it's mine? What the fuck, nigga? So you're telling me that the lady you're sleeping with, you're not even sure when she says she's pregnant that whether or not the possibility that it could be yours. So you're out here just having, like, you're just free balling with anybody who you're not even sure when they come to you if it's like the type of person who you would trust to know if the kid that they're pregnant with would or would not be yours. Like, you don't even know. That's how balls deep you are in her, with no understanding of whether or not it's your nut that shot her up. Like, huh? This is like irresponsibility after irresponsibility. It's like you're supposed to be taking care of DCFS. You don't show up. You're balls deep in this woman. You don't even know if the child is yours. You're supposed to be somebody's sobriety coach or whatever. You don't even know what this nigga's up to until after he shot up a heroin. Like, that's how negligent you are with his life too. It's like Every single sense of responsibility that Lip is supposed to have for himself, he's like not keeping track of. And he's not even the alcoholic. He's sober and messing up this much. So you expect Fiona in her alcohol-induced state to be able to keep up with all your nonsense that you yourself are not keeping up with. You're not keeping up with. And mind you, what blew me the most about this whole thing was not only Lip's level of like lack of awareness and like complete hypocrisy when he's like blaming all his problems on her. It's the fact that he yelled at her for like how many minutes straight and then says, I want you out of the house. I want you out of the house. Are you insane? The house that only exists and is only still in their name because of her. They wouldn't have a place to live. How many years did she pay all the bills in that house while they were like literally school-age children and took care of them for years on the end? For him to have the nerve to think that he can tell her to get out of the house? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You could do nothing wrong. And she still has more leg to stand of kicking him out of the house than he could ever have on her. And then he gonna tell her to get out of the house. And all them snotty-nosed kids that she literally raised sit there. No one defends her. No one has her back. No one stands up and said, hey, Lip, you're losing it. Don't ever talk to her like that. After everything she's done for us, after how she's taken care of us for years on end, you wouldn't even be here today to be able to yell at her if it wasn't for all the sacrifices she's made. Nobody stands up for her. They just sit there and watch him yell at her and kick her out the house. Are y'all? I'm like, wow, you could really do all of this for people. Like, you could really ruin your own life for your siblings. And no one will stand up for you. No one will say eep. Because what? Because it's Lip? And mind you, they don't be respecting Fiona when she be yelling and going off on them. They don't be caring. But as soon as Lip says something, all of a sudden everyone's quiet and scared and shaking in their boots. Like, y'all some pussies, bro. Y'all so ungrateful. Like, Fiona didn't deserve nothing she got in this show. It was like season after season, all they did was shit on this girl. And then when she was saying, I don't want to be Susie Sunshine no more, she's right. She been Susie Sunshine for too damn long. The amount of people who has like fucked her over is unbelievable. Like, none of y'all are gonna stand up and say, how dare you say that she's kicked out. We'll all band together and kick you out before she ever goes anywhere. Like, this is crazy. Like, I can't even believe this scene was literally insane. It was like a really good, like, well acted out scene, but it was just like, I feel like it kind of shows like why oftentimes, like, if you are gonna like kind of ruin your life to help people, or you're gonna like be the type of person who like will make sacrifices to see your family succeed, it's like you better never expect the same grace to come back. Like, you better never think that anyone's ever gonna have your back for it. If anything, look at how Lip treated her. Like, if anything, they're gonna resent you for all the times you've done everything you did. And the one time they have an opportunity to say you didn't do it, they're going to take it. The old Fiona would have handled this. You were a child when she was being the old Fiona. You're a grown man. You're a grown man. Crazy.
Too much media.
Welcome to Too Much Media.
Tune in
Too much
to
media.
Too much
Have fun.
media. Too much media.